individual I'd like to pick up, obviously, I do think Todd Gurley. I think that's going to be guaranteed. But Malik Hooker would be the safety. I really think we need help at safety. That would be the guy I would get. Maybe even look at a linebacker. I think Williamson, you could probably get him in here. He was traded to the Jets. I think he's still a free agent. And I'd like to get the safety position upgraded. Malik Hooker seems like the guy I would go with. Dern, is there a specific free agent player you would like to get?
I was going to say probably Malik Hooker or Trey Boston. We really need that second safety opposite of Tracy Walker.
Hey, absolutely. Definitely. We need to have that safety, man, because Will Harris scares me a little bit. We got a $5 super chat from Eric Minion. What kind of numbers do y'all think TJ will put up this season? Oh, let me start off. How about I say 850 yards, 9 touchdowns. Dern, what say you?
Excuse me. Let's see here. I think he's going to have a better year this year than he has previously. His yards last year were 723 with 6 touchdowns. Let's go with 875 yards with 10 touchdowns.
Woo! I like it. Eric Minion with a sick super chat and a great question. Appreciate you. Tone, what is the numbers of one T.J. Hockenson?
I think I might have to go with like 800 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to go with. No.
What do you think Jared Goff is going to do? What is his numbers in 2021?
He was, I believe, less than 100 yards from 4K last year with the Rams. I think he had 13 interceptions. This is off the top of my head. 13 picks and I think 20 touchdowns. I'm hoping he will be around the same yards, like 23 to 25 touchdowns and hopefully around 8 picks.
Okay, Antonio Hightower, what do you think that Jared Goff's going to do this year?
Jared Goff, if we're talking about a stats projection, I would go with like 45,000 yards, 24 TDs, 27 INTs. Yeah, that's about right.
27 interceptions, you said?
Oh, yeah.
Stop it right now.
I think we're going to...
27 interceptions? Come on, man.
I'll lower it to 20. I mean, he was what? He was 20 and 13 last year, and he's playing in an offense that's going to... Anybody put up 14 points on us, we're going to be playing from behind from sometimes. And in those situations with these weapons, it's just not a great situation in my opinion for him.
I think that's a ton of interceptions. I don't know if that's even possible. I guess if you're Nathan Peterman, but my God, man, that's a massive.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston, yeah, he had, didn't he have 33? Was it 33 and 33?
Like 30 and 31.
Oh my God!
Probably.
So we got Randy Schaub here. He says 30 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, 16 picks. Wow, that's quite a bit. 25 touchdowns, 9 picks. That's yeah. Better. Are you guys drunk? No, I'm not drunk. I'll give you my prediction. I think Jared Goff will do 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. I'm going to lower it because I don't think they're going to pass that much. I just don't think we're going to. Let's see here. 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 picks. 4K, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I like that one, Mental Life. Good one. Jorge, 38. Whoa, 510 rushing. Holy smokes. I think we have a running quarterback here. 22 to 28. Okay. Joking. Fire by Super Freddy. Hey, folks, if you got questions, let us know. And we're going to answer them because this segment's for you. You get it one chance a week on Thursday where you guys rule the roost. So let us know anything you want. You can ask us again. You can ask me personally. You can ask Tone is smoking. Hashtag Tone is smoking. Before I was going to even repeat it, I think he is. I'm with you, man. He is always left field when it comes to stuff. I think he is smoking something. Let me see if I can get... Well, I can say that.
It's my quarterback.
Yeah, it's my quarterback, man. We can't have that, man.
I'm giving her a D, man. A strong D.
Yeah, he definitely... He got something going on there. We all have to figure out who is going to have the most receptions, wide receivers-wise. That's true. That's going to be a question. Who has the most receptions, wide receiver-wise, Darren? I love this question.
I think Hockenson gets the most receptions, but he's not a wide receiver. Let's go. Man, this is hard. I have it between either Williams or St. Brown, I think.
Ooh, I do. I think St. Brown definitely could. Definitely could. Antonio Hightower, who gets the most yards this season, wide receiver-wise?
I'd say TJ, even though it's technically he kind of really is a wide receiver. But I'm going to have to go with St. Brown. He's probably the best wide receiver we got on this roster right now. I'd say Tyrell Williams, but I'm not really confident he's going to stay healthy. See, I guess I'll go with Bonner St. Brown.
Is the D going to show up this year? Mental life, I think it's going to show up much better than it did last year, but last year was historically bad. It was really bad. We really need to understand that this regime was given a really bad hand. They were giving a lot of bad players on this defense from top to bottom, and I think just by having a new coaching staff, it's going to elevate the defense from 32 to probably, I'm hoping, like 21, 22-ish. And yeah, they may not be saying a lot, and you say, that's terrible. We were in such a net negative that to take that big of a jump in 1 year would be significant. I just think with the defensive interior being beefed up the way it is, it's going to help stop the run, and that's going to really help. But we still have issues at linebacker. We still have issue at safety. And our cornerbacks are fairly young. Still, Jeffrey Okudah is just coming in his second year. Amani Oruwariye, it would be his third year. We do got Quinton Dunbar. But it's going to progress. I think from week 1 to week 17, you're going to see a much different looking team. They'll start to get better. But when we take about a significant jump about this football team, I would suggest waiting until next year after we get a ton of draft picks for this defense. And I think we're going to really focus on the middle of the field. We're probably going to get an edge rusher, and we'll probably get a safety. And we got a ton of draft picks next year for us to really take that next step on defense. Let's see here. Year 3, we're a playoff team. Question mark by Cy Gray. Yes, I say year 3 we are a playoff team. And if we're not a playoff team by year 3, there's something going on. Because the Detroit Lions, when they went 0-16, were a playoff team in 3 years. From 2009 and then 2011. This team is not as bad as the 0-16 team when it comes to talent. That talent was there was nothing there in offense. There's nothing on defense. On this team, there's actually some pieces. You got an offensive line. You got TJ Hockenson. You got a good running game. Dern, do you think that this team is a playoff team year 3?
If everything goes correctly, it shouldn't take 3 years. Maybe next year. Man, I really want to believe it. It's just really hard to tell because so many things can happen. Like, if out of nowhere the Lions do really well, people or coaches like Aaron Glenn or Hank Fraley could be snatched by other teams. So we just don't know what's going to happen. I hope so, though.
How many draft picks will we have next year? I'm just looking at it. I think it's going to be around 12 to 13-ish. Just depends on, what happens, because there's some of the players that are really on the threshold of getting a conditional draft pick, and we got to see if we can get it. We know we're going to get one from Kenny Galladay. We're probably going to get one from maybe Marvin Jones Jr. gets one. I know Jamal Agnew actually got a bigger contract than Marvin Jones Jr. Then plus, obviously, we got the first-round draft pick. So I'm going to say around 12 to 13, plus or Mattis. And if we decide to trade Tyrell Crosby before the trade deadline, if they do draft pick there, you can add one to it. But we're not 100% sure if they're going to do that. 2 super chats in a row. $5 super chat from Avery Giovanni, Spirit of Detroit podcast. Hey, what's up? Good, bro. Don't like Gurley, but three-headed monster would be dope. First off, everybody, you need to make sure you subscribe to Avery Giovanni, Spirit of Detroit podcast. He is a friend of mine. He is an individual that serves his country. He's got fantastic content, dives deep. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. I like him. He can come on the podcast whenever he wants to get on. Subscribe to his channel. Appreciate the $5 super chat. I like it, Avery, for the fact I don't think he's an every down guy. I think he's going to be a third down guy. That's what I kind of give it. You know, a 3rd and 2. He got 9 touchdowns last year because he was killing up that goal line, and that's something that we were hurting last year, is getting in touchdowns in the red zone. That's something that, man, we came away with too many field goals, Dern. We need to have touchdowns.
I agree completely. I feel like a lot of people forget about those 9 touchdowns. He wasn't bad. I mean, he was dealing with a really bad defense on that team. They had to come back from behind a lot. That offensive line he was working with isn't that great. Yeah, his knees are bad, but he's still serviceable.
100%. I think $5 super chat from Travis Doyley, MVP Travis Doyley. I think we're going to be a top 10 run stuffing defense and a bottom 10 pass stopping defense. Antonio Hightower, what do you think about this comment?
I don't know if we're going to be a top 10 run stopping defense. As much as I like the D tackles, run stopping is much more than D tackles. One of the reasons our run defense was bad so year wasn't because of the D tackles, because the linebackers weren't doing the job. Part of it, we haven't really talked about it. A lot of the teams we're going against aren't going to be running up the middle. Teams like the 49ers, the Packers, the Vikings, for example, all those teams, Rams, those are more outside zone teams. So that's going to be put more pressure on our edges. And while I know Trey Flowers can stop the run as an edge, Romeo wasn't that great last year, and Julian wasn't that great in college. I think we're going to be a top half rush defense. I definitely agree with this bottom 10 pass defense though. Corners is not really a lot. Is got to count in the fact it's going to be a brand new defense that a bunch of players are going to learn. Linebackers wise, there's nobody, other than Jamie, who's really that great in coverage. In terms of the pass rush, we don't really we have we might have a top 20 pass rush, but we're not going to be threatening many quarterbacks. So yeah, I think we won't be a top 10 rushing run stopping defense, but I do agree with the fact we're going to be a bottom 10 pass stopping defense.